G'day, wonderful listeners. This is episode 68 of TrevsTalk, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I left off talking about how I've been led by hints and clues since 2010 to try and establish a scholarship fund for Aboriginal students at our local Aboriginal school. I was led to trying to get a fund co-founded by Christian organisations after missing out on getting Muslims and Jews to take part. In last episode, I explained that the Vinnies and the Anglican Church had both committed to co-founding such a fund, and it is called the Moorditj Scholarship Fund. Well, I have good news to report. I've had the meeting with Mr. Moorditj, the financial manager from the Catholic Church here in Perth, and it went exceptionally well. Ward finished up saying he would recommend to Bishop Don that the church go ahead and co-found the fund. So that means all the things I asked for got the go-ahead, except for Catholic Church permission for me to advertise their name on the sides of our minibus as Catholic Church co-founder. I had previously had Catholic Community on the bus from when I had the church supporting my Moorditj food patrol. My idea is that having Catholic Church instead of Catholic Community stated on the bus really means that it is a project backed by the church itself, not by the community in general. Pointing out the Catholic Church in this way should direct any goodwill we generate towards the church. And believe me, it is time some good news about the church came out. We have certainly had an abundance of bad news in recent times. Anyway, Mr. Moorditj said I would have to get permission from Bishop Don for having Catholic Church on the bus as co-founder. So I fired off a photo of the bus together with a letter explaining my thinking about using church instead of community on the bus to Bishop Don, and much to my delight, I got a very quick reply granting me full permission. So there you are. I've got permission for everything asked for. We now have Vinnies, Anglicans and Catholics all committed co-founders. Ward is also arranging a referral on an official letterhead, which means I will have referrals from 3 co-founders to show when I get a meeting with the Salvos, and that will make it extremely difficult for the Salvos to reject my offer of becoming the 4th and final co-founder of the Moorditj Scholarship Fund. It's now just a matter of getting that meeting, mentioned in last episode, as up to Chelsea of the Salvos to organise with her husband Daryl an Aboriginal lady called Mary. Once the Salvos come on board, I will be able to arrange the new signage on the sides of the minibus and get my web designer to design a striking website for the fund. The Medjugorje Centre is the administrator of the fund, but it has to stand alone financially. What money comes in or expenses out must be allocated against the fund project. The Medjugorje Centre will be involved in more projects in future, but will administer each one on its own merits. Keeping any projects financially separate from each other is good housekeeping. I eagerly look forward to the Salvos meeting, as I'm feeling very confident that I can bring them on board and will then be able to move on to other things I believe I'm being led to. There are 4 more primary schools in suburbs surrounding the local Aboriginal school that have large cohorts of Aboriginal students which would hugely benefit from acceptance into the Moorditj Scholarship Fund, should it eventuate that we gather enough funding to expand. Also, there is a possibility that I may be able to collaborate with an organisation which does mentoring of students. Just imagine the good advances we might make if students not only got scholarships, but were mentored by trained mentors as well. Students such as those would advance in leaps and bounds. But anyway, that's ideas for the future. I need to still concentrate on the present for now. Well, here is the latest news. I sent emails to the Anglicans and Catholics asking for their permission to put them as churches, not general community, as signage on the sides of our minibus. I mentioned the need for permission just a few minutes ago in this podcast. Both churches have sent emails back to me granting full permission, so I presume I can show them as churches on my soon-to-be designed website as well. I believe this move will generate real goodwill for the co-founders shown on the minibus. And while talking about websites, I tell you that there are still some minor glitches to overcome with the website for my book, which amongst other things explains a lot about my life and the Medjugorje phenomenon. It is far easier to have someone read my book before asking questions, as most of someone's questions are covered in the book. For instance, the other day a prominent member named John of the little church that hands out food hampers to people in need spoke to me about my book while I was at his church delivering some frozen meals for his group to put in the food hampers they were handing out to people. John had bought a book the night I gave them a presentation on the book and my life's journey before, during and after my Medjugorje visit back in 1990. John advised he had really enjoyed the book and now saw me in a different way, not just a delivery guy, but someone who was doing good things due to his life change at Medjugorje. So, I had done a good job with the book, as it made readers take notice of Medjugorje. That is what Our Lady, Mary, the Mother of Jesus, wanted me to do. Pass the word out as far as possible that she is warning us to improve our relationship with her Son. Now, a bit about websites. The website where people can order my book is now active. It still has a couple of minor glitches, but they will be ironed out shortly. People can still order a book. The website for the Medjugorje Centre charity is ready and active, so if people are wanting to, they can go on the website to order some Medjwater. Getting Damo, my website designer, to do the website for the Moorditj Scholarship Fund has to wait still because the Salvos have not yet become involved. If the Salvos representative, Chelsea, has not been back in touch with me in the next couple of days, I will send her an email encouraging her to set a meeting in motion. I understand she may have difficulty because she wants to have 3 of her people at such a meeting, and find a common time suitable for 3 people is not easy. I am not expecting much demand for my book or the Medjwater at this stage, but there will be plenty of interest once the secrets or messages given to the visionaries at Medjugorje start to be declared to the public, because that will capture serious interest from mainstream media, just like what happened at Fatima in the early 20th century. Many thousands of people gathered there to see the miracle of the sun and the quick evaporation of the torrential rain. At Medjugorje, they will descend on the village in thousands to see the miracle sign that God is going to produce at the site of Our Lady's first apparitions. word will go out to all the world about Medjugorje then. That will bring interest on anything associated with Medjugorje, and that will have a knock-on effect for my Medjugorje Centre. Well, wonderful listeners, that's enough for this week, so I will pause here and continue next week in the next episode. If you have questions, they can be asked in comments. I welcome comments as they help me to form a little community sort of thing. I look forward to your company again next week. This is Trev, tuning out